Alright guys, welcome back to the channel where today we're going to be running down all the latest wrestling game news, including updates on 2K Battlegrounds, a trailer for Retromania Wrestling, and official confirmation that development on the AEW game is now underway. Before we get to any of that though, if you're new to the channel and you want to stay up to date with all the latest wrestling game news, then please do hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any future videos. So with that out of the way, let's start things off with Retromania Wrestling, as since we last covered the game there's been a fair few updates revealed, including the announcement of the final two roster members, Matt Cardona and Brian Myers, who were formerly known as Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins in WWE. Alongside the announcement, we also got a new trailer for the game which shows off a lot of new gameplay footage, including entrances, moves, arenas and match types, with the game featuring singles, tag, 6 and 8 man tag, tornado tag, elimination tag, 3-way, 4-way and rumble matches. If you're a fan of classic wrestling games like WrestleFest, then this is definitely one to check out, however no release date has yet been announced. If you want to check out the full trailer for the game, which is around 3 minutes long and features its own custom rap song, then I'll leave a link to the official channel in the description so that you can check it out. Moving on, let's talk WWE 2K Battlegrounds. As following the global pandemic that we've all found ourselves to be in the middle of, we've seen a lot of games being pushed back and delayed due to studios having to temporarily close or bring in measures to ensure the safety of staff, which has led to a lot of people asking if Battlegrounds will also be affected and whether or not the game could be pushed back into 2021. Speaking in an interview with WCCFtech.com, Sabre Interactive founder and CEO Matthew Karch was asked how the pandemic has affected the company and what this means for the games currently in development, to which he revealed that the studio have managed to adapt quite well and that all of their employees are now working from home. Responding to the question, Matthew stated, "All of our employees are working from home and we've set up several virtual meeting rooms and separate VPNs for people to connect. We've worked hard to keep our recent releases on schedule and launched without problems. As we look to the future, we feel we are well prepared to continue development on our unannounced games with little or no loss in time." So for WWE fans worried that we won't get a WWE game this year, Michael's response should provide some reassurance, as the company have adapted well to the situation, with developers continuing to work on the game from the safety of their own home. Finally for today, and finally is the key word here, as we finally have confirmation that the AEW video game is now in development. This confirmation comes from AEW referee Aubrey Edwards, who was a guest on a recent episode of Talk is Jericho. On the podcast, Jericho asked Aubrey about her career prior to becoming a referee, where she went on to reveal that she has a background in the gaming industry and how she's worked for various companies that include both Sony and Microsoft over the past 10 years, before going on to reveal that she's currently working on the AEW video game, which is something that I actually speculated on back in February when Aubrey revealed that she was taking on a new role. On the podcast, Jericho went on to ask Aubrey about the game, as it's something that he too has had a lot of questions about from fans, however, other than admitting that the game is still in its very early stages and that she's in constant contact with Kenny Omega to ensure that the game is in line with his vision, there wasn't too much more that she was allowed to say, and she didn't want to give away any possible dates due to the fact that the game is so early into development. Even so, at least now we know that the AEW game is actually in development, as until now there was no official confirmation that development had begun, and rumours were starting to surface that the project could have been put on hold due to the pandemic, with the company looking to limit spending costs until things return to normal. So at least we now know that that isn't the case, and that the game is going ahead, with Aubrey working in a kind of overseer role as she's managing the project rather than actually developing it. As for anything else, when asked what makes a great wrestling game, she did go on to state the importance of a good creation suite, which is one of the things that she said was the most important when it comes to creating a wrestling game, which is obviously an area that the AEW game will look to invest in. Plus they also briefly spoke on the WWE 2K series and the reason why 2K20 was so bad. If you'd like to listen to the segment in full, then I'll leave a link to the Talk is Jericho episode in the video description, along with a timestamp for where they talk about the AEW video game. With that though, that brings us to the end of this video, but let me know what you think of today's news in the comments. Have yourself an awesome day, and I'll catch you later.